Welcome to the Unexpected Podcast. My name is Justin Mahwikizi, and today's guest is Michael Leopold of BSA, who have been a family-owned business for quite some time, and we're excited to share the company's story, but also Michael's personal story as well. Michael, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Justin. It's nice to be on.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time today. Tell the audience, who is BSA? What does it stand for? What is the history of the company?
Yeah, so BSA is Building Services of America. We've been in business for about 30 years. We do janitorial, maintenance, concierge, security, parking attendants. We really kind of take care of all building facilities from that standpoint. Been in business for about 30 years and still looking to grow today. We take care of buildings on a national scale, mostly in Illinois. We have about 250 buildings nationwide and yeah, really looking to just grow.
What states other than Illinois are you in?
So in the other states we work with MAHs on a national scale in Tennessee, Texas. Actually, I don't think we're in Texas anymore. Tennessee and Pittsburgh. We took care of some buildings in California before, Miami. Really, wherever there's a need, we'll go. Illinois is our main base. We do most of our buildings here. Most of our buildings here, and then nationwide a little bit.
Gotcha. So when I met you at a BNI meeting, I tried to wrap my head around on what it is to manage a building, right? Property managers, others will manage houses, homes, and that alone creates all kinds of tickets, all kinds of headaches sometimes, and managing it. When you say that you provide facilities of a whole building, just that one unit, let's just focus on a unit. What does that entail to manage all those moving pieces? The staffing of it, the management of it. Tell me more about what the word looks like for you guys.
So at BSA, we're lucky enough to have a phenomenal operations team that helps run all these buildings, down at the doormen, janitors, maintenance. We have fantastic people we work with. Someone doesn't show up, our operations team gets somebody immediately to follow up, go to the building. Once we're in a building, I'm a salesman for the company.
Gotcha.
What we do is we work on making sure the property managers are happy in the sense of, is our operations team doing good? Are our employees doing good? How can we make you happier? What can we do to make you happy as a property manager?
Gotcha.
And make sure that you like our staff, make sure that the staff is running the building correctly, and making sure, everyone's getting along with janitors, concierge, maintenance people, down to the operations team. Operations team does most of, I would say the operations team does most of the relationships with our actual employees that are at the building.
Yes.
Janitors, concierge, and maintenance. What our job is as salesmen is making sure the property managers are happy with us and with, making sure that they're happy with BSA itself.
Got it. So from a sales perspective, what's a typical sales cycle on getting new accounts? How long do you develop those relationships before you actually get to bid and win an account?
Yeah, so it varies a lot. We have 3 salesmen on our team. One of our salesmen works for Metro Facility Solutions. Same ownership as BSA, but they do our union side. Okay. What we do mainly is we're door to door. We are going out, we're knocking on buildings, we're seeing who they're using, and we kind of garner our relationships that way, in the sense of being in face-to-face and making sure they see us, know who we are, getting our information, rather than just sending an email, hoping they open it, hoping they get our information. Right. We like to just take the initiative, go to the building, just for example, say, we'll make up a building, 1 East State Street. We'll go to 1 East State Street, get the property manager's information, email, introduce ourselves, leave them with a nice folder, maybe some donuts, and we'll kind of garner the relationship that way, in the sense of, we're here, we'll show up, how can we get a bid in? Got
it. I'll tell you what, donuts work every time, in all kinds of industries.
They definitely work for me.
Growing up, it's a family-owned business. Did you always know you were going to get into the family business? Did you at some point have to make a decision? What was your thought process as the next generation, essentially, in moving ahead and being part of the business?
So I've been around forever. I'm actually a twin. And my twin's also involved with the company. He does
Oh, really?
operations. So there are some funny stories with that. If I have a building and say I go get a building, property manager knows me, he runs the building. There's some confusion there. So that would say is the only downside of a family business is being called Anthony 90% of the time when I'm at a building. But yeah, we both always knew we would work for BSA. We've been involved with the warehouse when we were kids, and we've always been around. We knew that this was the next step after college, and after college, we came right here, and we're trying to grow it as big as we can. My dad, Anthony, or our dad, Anthony Leopold, put a ton of time into this business, and we owe it to him to grow it as well. You know, he gave us a great life our whole life, and that's exactly what I want to do with my kids during this family business.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I always tell my friends here that especially when you're younger, you don't think of it, but when you grow up, you realize you're as good or better at whatever your father or mother may have been good at because you were grown around it. Like your brain is tuned for that type of work. And so often enough, kids try to do something as different as possible from their father, not realizing that the skill sets that he has, you probably have as equal or better because you were around it longer. So I appreciate what you're saying that you meant and always knew that you were going to be part of the family business.
And I would want nothing else. My brother and I's plan was to always join the family business. And like I was telling you earlier, we're lucky enough that my mom has also joined. So not only that, just getting to see my whole family every day in the office, it means a lot. You know, everyone's working towards one goal. You come home, you don't talk about business, you talk about business during the business hours. And I thought there would be, you know, a huge change in my life, and nothing changed. It was everyone there welcomed me with open arms, and it's just nice to be able to work next to my dad, mom, and brother, hopefully for the next 20 years and grow something special in this business.
That's amazing. Where'd you go to college and what did you study, not knowing that your career was going to go into BSA?
So I went to Arizona State. I was lucky enough to also have my brother join me there. I studied marketing there. I kind of take over a little bit of the marketing for BSA. We also have a few other people that help us as well. I'm more so into sales, so I figured marketing, why not? Marketing, sales, they kind of go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Love my time at ASU, but by junior year, I was ready to get into BSA. I was ready to start working with my brother, dad, mom, and just grow this company as big as we can.
Okay. So now you're in the business. Tell us, what have you learned from your father growing up as well? Now, what skill set have you learned or strategies have you learned on how to make sure the client is happy, make sure the operations are running smooth? What have you learned from your father to prepare you for you and your brother are today?
The biggest thing I learned from my father in terms of business wasn't necessarily how to run a business. It was how to treat people in a business. Most people that know my dad know that he'll take a bullet for anyone, even a guy that he just met off the street. That's what helped me the most in business was being able to treat even a janitor like they're the CEO. And I know that's pretty typical. You hear that a lot, but my dad lives that. And I think that's why BSA is successful today is because he's a leader. He's a great president and he treats everybody, no matter who you are, like they're the top executive at a firm or a building. That's the biggest thing I've learned from him was just treat everyone with respect. And that's the best way to build a relationship with anybody. You don't know who knows who. Just treat them like how you would treat anybody.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And people see you from a leadership perspective. And I learned that from my high school. I went to Valley Forge Military Academy. And so the other day I was going to a BNI meeting at Wills Tower. And as I walked in, I always say hi to the security guys and thank them for what they're doing. Because, you know, sometimes when you're in operations, you only hear what went wrong. You don't hear that things went smoothly.
Always.
And so when I always stop and say, hey, thank you for what you're doing. We understand and we appreciate what you're doing. They're always surprised. But I'm always doing it because I know that somebody else is going to see me do it and maybe they'll do it next time. And so I appreciate that from your father. And I'm pretty sure you do that as well today.
You have to. It's how you build a relationship. There's been a few times where even you treat our security guard, if we have a security guard at the building, walk in, like you said, thank you for your job. If we do that, we thank them. They're doing a good job. We're bringing gift cards to them. We're bringing some gifts to them. We try to treat our employees like If they're doing a good job, we want them to know they're doing a good job, and we'll take care of them by doing a good job. If they have a friend, we'll hire their friend. We have just expectations that we set, and being, treating everybody like they're the top dog.
Yeah.
Those expectations are normally met. If you treat somebody how you want to be treated,
Yes.
they'll meet those expectations. They want to work for you. They want to show up to work. So down to our operations team, we try to just treat everybody like they're the best person at their job, and they show up. They want to show up. They want to do a good job. It takes a lot to tell somebody you're doing a good job. When you do it, that's how you get your best employees.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. That's universal across industries. You could be a banker. You could be, like you said, a security guard. It's always appreciated on a personal level when you say that. And they see you on a human level, not just you're the boss or you're this, whatever rank you have in the company. In some of your clients, when it's real estate. So some property managers will acquire or get new buildings to manage, et cetera. Do you see that if you have a good relationship with that property manager, you at least get a chance to move with them to that next building? From a growth perspective, how does BSA grow from onesies and twosies, getting new accounts, or growing with the account that you're working with? How does that look for you guys?
So we're lucky enough to have great relationships with Morguard, First Service, and Sudler. From a Morguard perspective, if they open a building, we're the first people they're calling for janitorial.
Good.
We've built that relationship over the years where we know if they get a building, we know we at least have a chance to bid on it. Same thing, most of the time, same thing with First Service as well. The great people over there, they trust us. We have a salesman, Bobby Bills, built an amazing relationship with First Service Residential over the years, and he's really taken that company by storm. I see it when we go out. Anyone that works with First Service, it seems like they know who he is. He's almost like the president there. We're lucky enough to have a team that has built relationships with big time property management companies. And when they open a new building or something goes wrong at a building, we're normally the first people they call. And it is so awesome to see. It's exciting to see. So from a new business perspective, we have to go out and build those same relationships we've had with the Morguards, the First Services,
Yes.
and hopefully get a chance to build with them that way. This business or this scope of work seems to be entirely relationship based. That's something that caught me off guard. I always figured everything was price.
Right.
It's not true all the time, which is nice to see. It's nice to see a company pay you a little bit more than a company that you're bidding with you, just because they like your service workers, they like your salesmen, they want to work with us. It's awesome to see, and we're very appreciative for everybody we work with in that sense. We're very appreciative that anytime a new building opens, we're contacted to bid on it. It's great.
That's great. Personally, how do you handle, you've already said that, at work you talk business, at home, you try not to talk business, but how do you separate your personal life to the business, life in the world? Or you're always on because you never know who you're going to run into. You could go to a game and then somebody from, somebody in your industry is there, or they know somebody in your industry. And so are you always pitching, or do you sometimes unplug and just, enjoy the game for, 30 minutes or so?
So it's a good question. Depending on where I am. So if we're at a smaller stadium or even a smaller venue, my boss, Mike Jaskolski, always tells us, just go see, who's in the building.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, driving past the building, who's managing it. It could be a Saturday, you're out with your buddies, going to a bar, drive past a nice building. First thing my boss would say, Mike would say, who's got the building? Who's managing the building? So we do unplug typically. I'll try to unplug typically, but for example, I'm buying a house right now, and we were at their office, and the first thing I did was ask who the manager was, got their card, and sent them an email that Monday.
That's outstanding.
At the end of the day,
that call might pay for your house in the long term,
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, no matter where you are, everywhere needs to be cleaned. So why not throw your 2 cents in and see if you have a chance to bid on it and get it and hopefully win it?
Listen, that's a great point. Mergers and acquisitions here, and business owners buying other businesses or selling their own businesses, or partners are, going different ways, and I have to help them negotiate through that. But like you said, any business, any building, it has to be managed, right? It has to be clean. It has to be the security around it. And so, yeah, for you, the market scope is it's every single standing business that's out there, or at least
Oh yeah,
building.
everywhere.
Very interesting. Now, bring me into technology. How has technology affected you, the work BSA does? There's AI, there's automation, there's all kinds of gadgets now, security wear and everything else, or even in janitorial work, the machines have improved. How do you guys keep up with the technology while managing costs to make sure that you at least break even long term? So how do you see that, at least from a BSA perspective?
So we're lucky enough to not have to deal with any of the cleaning robots yet, I would say. Most of our AI would come online through sales, tracking, everything like that, which I'd like to think we're keeping up with. We use some AI for sales, we use some AI for recruiting. Nothing really in the building yet. I know eventually I know that the times are changing right now, and I do see some of these janitorial robots online. We've never really considered that yet, and I'm lucky enough to haven't seen them yet
Yeah.
because I know that eventually they're coming. They might take over some of these jobs, but really nothing yet. In terms of AI, we're doing it mainly just for sales right now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. With the robots, especially in the industry you're in, it's not just can they do the job better, faster, and all that good stuff. It's the insurance. Is your insurance risk going to go up? Because now you have a non-human doing, things that could hurt people or hurt the building or whatnot. And so I'm still waiting to see what the insurance industry does to adjust to these uncertainties, more risks, I guess. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I'm sure they're not only that, I'm sure it's just so much more cost effective. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's companies out there right now that are cleaning companies and not even using any humans to clean. It's entirely robotic. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure you've seen these drone companies now too. They're doing the window washing, 80
Yes.
story with. I, I wish I knew how it worked. It's cool to see, but I wonder, the insurance costs with that as well.
Yeah. 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 I mean, the lawyers are salivating. I'll tell you that. They're just waiting. They're just waiting. Outstanding. Do you have uh, an idea of where you want, or what BSA you want people to know about BSA, what you guys stand for? If you're doing, imagine now as a potential client of yours, how do you position BSA versus the competition? I know there's a bidding process, but from your marketing side, how do you position that company so our audience understands this is when we should call BSA, or this is when we should talk to our property managers about potentially calling BSA?
Yeah, so I would say call BSA because we have the experience, we have the references. We've been around for 30 years. Our first client, St. Ignatius, allows us to get a good reference for cleaning schools. We clean Midwestern University as well now.
Okay.
We work with Mars on a national scale. So regardless of how big or small your building is, we're ready to take it on. We're going to come in, we're going to build a plan solely for your building, not just some AI plan that every building has. We're going to come in, learn your building, learn what needs to be done, understand what needs to be done, and go from there. Essentially, we'll ask what they need, biggest headaches in the building, biggest aching points. Those are the first things we'll tackle. We want to make sure that not only the manager's happy, but the tenants are happy as well. At the end of the day, if we're in a building, we need to make sure the building is up to standard based on, how well the building is cleaned. It's the first thing people see is, okay, is there dirt on the floor? Is there grime on the floor? We need to take care of all of that.
Outstanding. You mentioned that BSA, the company itself, there's some causes that you donate to or you support. Tell us more about some of the causes that are important to you personally or important to the company that you guys try to help support long term.
Yeah. So the biggest two companies we support are Salvation Army and the Ronald McDonald Foundation, and we have done that since we started. I'm lucky to have met such fantastic people from Salvation Army. I got to give a shout out to my guy Tom Nyland. We've cleaned his facility before. We've been cleaning his facility for years, actually. I've been so lucky to build a relationship with him and some of the Salvation Army team that I'm just so grateful for. He's a great guy, and being able to carry on these relationships that my father started, built, and being able to come in and continue building that relationship just means the world to me, especially with a company like Salvation Army, with everything they do, and we try to do as much as we can for them as well.
No, I agree. Salvation Army, my family supports them, and they've been in these communities for so long, doing such a great job in the community. You know, they're doing things that most people wouldn't think are necessary, but they are necessary to keep society moving. So that's definitely a great cause to support. If people are interested in reaching out to you, talking more about BSA and what you guys do, how do they contact you specifically?
So the best way to contact me would be my email, or give us a quick call. Our website is bsateam.com. Easy enough. We're very easy to find, and if you call, I promise somebody will answer.
Outstanding. Thank you. I appreciate your time today, sir.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for having me.
Outstanding. Have a great day.